rallied behind a call for unity ahead of the January 15, 2026 general elections. The appeal follows the absence of former Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga at a Busoga leaders meeting in Iganga district, an issue that drew the president's attention. Former woman MP of Buyende district Veronica Babirye Kadogo warns that continued disunity could hurt NRM's performance in the region if left unresolved. Henry Okrut has the details.
To 100,000.
In the last elections, the ruling party registered a weak showing in the Busoga sub-region. It was partly blamed on internal divisions and issue resurfacing as polls draw nearer.
What I advise you that the poor people need unity among the leaders. Because you are delaying their coming out of poverty by not working together. The ones who are suffering are the poor people.
Believed to stem from rival factions, one aligned to former Speaker Rebecca Kadaga and another to current Speaker Anita Among Anet. Disunity continues to trouble Busoga.
Elections are in districts. It is not about unity of the region to choose leaders. For us now, take an example, I'm from the city in Jinja. We are working as a team. The chairman and the chairperson, the MPs, we are working as a team. So to me, these things of Abanene, their fights up there, they should stay where? Up there.
Who will bridge the divide, and what could continued disunity mean as the general elections approach?
We are not speaking the same language as Busoga, and the president has indeed told us that we should unite for the development of Busoga.
For us people who are on the grassroots, for us it is about looking for votes now. We are not concerned about the divisions of the people. It is time for elections, let's first vote. After elections, we shall get back to that.
But the president has emphasized that Busoga, we need to get united so that we can develop.
While NRM support in Busoga may be at risk, grassroots supporters remain confident of victory for the ruling party.
But come 15th January, Busoga is ready to vote President Museveni because of some of the developments that Busoga has reached on.
We have decided to come together as NRM party to make sure that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni score 95% in Busoga sub-region.
Uganda heads to the polls on January 15th, 2026 as citizens choose their leaders for the next 5 years. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry, for that report. Now, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has attributed the acts of opposing government to incompetent leaders. Tayebwa says some leaders in the NRM have failed to implement government programs, hence failing President Yoweri Museveni. He was speaking to a section of defectors from the opposition from Teso region who gathered in Kampala.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, welcomed over 300 defectors from the opposition wing in the Teso region. The ambience was full of swapping clothes to match yellow tees as a signature of full change.
Things are already better.
The converts were leaders and coordinators from across various opposition political parties who have joined the yellow bus.
Assure him that we are going to demobilize NUP 100% in 3 days. If we are facilitated, we wish our dear candidate the best in this election and win 99% in the Teso sub-region. We say this for God and my country.
The Minister of State for Sports, Peter Ogwang, led the defectors, claiming that the group had been misguided on the achievements in Teso region, including factories and infrastructure developments.
To pledge the people of Uganda and Teso Patrol that Teso is going to vote for NRM fully, and it will be the biggest vote ever in the history of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And why? Because of the achievements I've enumerated. Today, we are able to do what we can. Now what is important is job creation for young people. And that's the main issue now. We have an industrial park in Sorot, which we feel as leaders, it's important now we begin to get a big number of investors to be able to come in there to set up factories.
Tayebwa attributes the misconception to incompetent leaders who have failed to implement government programs.
Some small mistakes. And now people are judging the president, but it is us, his cadres, who are making those mistakes, whom he has trusted. We do wrong things, and then the president pays the price. That has to stop. I want to urge all cadres who have been given an opportunity to serve by His Excellency the President. Let us work for the communities. Let us work for people. We stop making people to hate the President when he has done whatever he can in his power and authority to serve our beautiful country.
Most political parties are adding last-minute touches to ensure the 15th January touchline is a success.
Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has called on Ugandans to take advantage of the economic opportunities the NRM government has created to create jobs. The president's message is contained in a speech delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, who represented the president at a Thanksgiving ceremony of Nakasongola district held at Kalungi sub-county headquarters in Nakasongola yesterday.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, arrived in Nakasongola district last evening aboard a police chopper from Kakumiro, from her busy campaign schedule to represent President Yoweri Museveni at the Thanksgiving ceremony of Nakasongola district held at Kalungi sub-county headquarters. In his message, the President reiterated the NRM's key message of wealth creation and poverty eradication, saying that poverty in Uganda remains a challenge because of 33% of the households are still trapped in subsistence economy.
Since 1986, the NRM has been at the forefront defending the legitimate interests of the people of Uganda and Africa. The NRM has been like a political doctor trying to solve the problems of Uganda. In order to treat a disease, you must first of all conduct a diagnosis. Once you have correctly diagnosed the patient, then you can make the correct prescription.
Museveni called on Ugandans to take advantage of the economic opportunities the NRM government has created to create jobs.
Working for the Federation of the East Africa and beyond, as well as the common market of Africa, in order to guarantee greater prosperity and strategic security. The NRM government has been mobilizing the people of Uganda to select profitable enterprises in any of the above 4 sectors. The government has put in place the necessary conditions through PDM, Emioga, to mention but a few, to ensure the profitability of the enterprises.
He reminded Ugandans of the 4 key sectors with a great potential of job creation and wealth generation.
Of commercial, agriculture, industries, services and ICT, production of Ugandan commodities and services will continue to go up.
He asked Ugandans to vote the NRM on the 15th January 2026 to protect the gains of peace, stability and development and socio-economic transformation.
Abagenda okumuwagira emikono waggulu nziremu ku maanyi. Bapa ku bapa, nyumba ku nyumba, kyalo ku kyalo, kigere ku kigere, akalulu konna mu kalonde kaggweyo konna ka Museveni.
The function was also attended by the Sabaluli and the Minister in charge of Public Service Muruli Mukasa. Later, the Prime Minister joined supporters of the NRM in Mityana to canvass support for the NRM flag bearers.
naye bakagabanyizaamu dda bakalidenga chapati bakagabanyizaamu waliwo DF kakati waliwo nupu kakati kyani kya Segona mumawulira Segona jayani kakati abo abalwana bwe batyo banaasobola okutambuza eggwanga akabiina kamaze okubalema okutambuza banaasobola eggwanga olwokuba NRM yabawa biliyoni 4 bweziti ne beeryamu n'amaaso kakati abo bakwase biliyoni za sente triliyoni 7 tebajja kwetta tebalina mulamwa era temubatunuulira NRM oye omanyi okusago mwina omukyala Nabakoba oyo omukyala w'amaanyi mumukwate mumunyweze mumutunuulire nga liiso ate temumuviirako ddala paka nga mumuwadde akalunga 15 yasigadde nga ku 5 zokka.
Now, residents of Bunyangabo district have asked government to consider the creation of a new constituency to be named Bunyangabo West, citing the need for improved service delivery and representation. The call was made during NRM engagements in the area, where opposition supporters also defected to the ruling party as leaders urged peaceful participation in the electoral process. Take a look.
Residents of Bunyangabo district have asked government to consider creating a new constituency and be named Bunyangabo West to improve service delivery and political representation. The request was raised during 2 gatherings held in Mitandi Parish and Chamkube Town Council, where State Minister for National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga was canvassing support for President Yoweri Museveni and NRM flag bearers ahead of the polls.
Wetu Minister Bukereijo kumuzeyi nenda mu siyasa urara yaturabizamu isaza lyetu nukutunga representative in parliament.
But I'm very optimistic that the president is going to look into it because he's a person who really considers most of those minority suggestions.
The rallies were also aimed at promoting peace in the Rwenzori region.
And we are saying enough is enough. We want to lead out on this campaign and make sure that people understand what it means to have change. And the change that comes brings peace in our minds.
NRM leaders say several government pledges have been implemented, including the construction of Nsura Seed Secondary School, valued at 2.5 billion shillings, the takeover of Mitandi Senior Secondary School with recruitment of teachers, and the construction of Kagera Market worth 421 million shillings.
Like we are having the 2 power dams of Nsongia at a cost of 8 billion, another power dam at River Igasa at a cost of 12 billion. All of them are underway and they are being constructed. We have the PDM, and Chamkube has received over 1 billion.
Kule Charles, the mayor of Chamkube Town Council, says that although the Mabwe Road was constructed at a cost of 436 million shillings, the current road fund allocation of 36 million shillings remains inadequate for opening up roads in the mountainous terrain.
Yeah, we have recently written letters requesting for around 150 million per year, such that we can prioritize this sector of roads and we give it interest and we construct roads having first-class maram.
He has called for the facelifting of Mitandi Secondary School to a decent status, including support with ICT tools to improve students' learning experience.
Was attacked by the ADF rebels in 1996-98 there, and they bombed the dormitory, they killed some students, they took some of them, and the whole place was in disarray. So we are requesting the government to put a few structures, because this school is already for the government, such that we can revamp the lost glory.
The security situation in the area is calm, but leaders have appealed to government to consider granting amnesty to those willing to abandon rebellion and reunite with their families.
We get the information from their relatives, because these are people who have wives, they have children, they sneak to their homes at night and they disappear to fear being arrested.
The people here have confidence in church leaders. I have advised them that they can approach the parish priest, the parish pastor, and then the parish pastor can take them to the bishop, and the bishop will contact us as government. We shall receive them.
During the engagements, Minister Kabyanga received defectors from the opposition who crossed over to the NRM party.
On behalf of the party, I'm welcoming these young people and old people to join NRM.
Katungana sende za loni bali ni bantu warambora. Jijere kinagaruka a president Museveni ka.
Jinabenga wagera bobu we ni betu munabwiri. Namarangera ndecheho chia chaveri asa tunamusoma kandi president Museveni tukamusabu mubiri.
In supporting the national platform NUP bobo enchagulanyi, but mbade ndaba akateba atulimba bulimbi na tubyabya kinu manya protest vote.
As the country heads towards the polls, leaders in Bunyangabo say the proposed constituency would strengthen representation and consolidate peace in the Rwenzori region. Ivan Kahwa compiled the story.
Now from Bunyangabo, we take you to Bujiri, where the Electoral Commission has upheld the nomination of Bujiri District LC5 Chairperson Davidson Mulumba, clearing him to remain in the race for the district's top political seat. Mulumba had been accused by a petitioner of lacking the minimum academic qualifications required for the position. However, the commission ruled that the academic documents submitted met the legal requirements under the electoral laws. Following the decision, Mulumba addressed supporters at a rally held at Nankoma Sub-County in Bujiri District.
Because on the 24th of last month, December, I got something that to some extent shocked me. I got information that I have a case to answer before the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Uganda. One of the colleagues contesting with me on the same post sued me in the Electoral Commission, complaining that I do not have the required credentials to contest for the position of district chairperson. He complained that I do not have a senior 4 certificate, and he complained, he submitted in his petition on the 28th of September last year. Therefore, all along they were deceiving the Electoral Commission that they served me, but I have been refusing to go since I am aware that I do not have the requisite qualifications to contest for that particular position. Therefore, to a big extent, the Electoral Commission was being so hesitant to take a decision or pass a verdict ex parte. Therefore, they told them to struggle and look for me. They continued to say they are not seeing me until the Electoral Commission communicated to the registrar or the returning officer, the Electoral Commission in Bujiri, who looked for me and informed me that the Electoral Commission.
Now, with only 5 days remaining before Ugandans cast their votes to choose the country's next leaders, political activity has intensified in Serere district, especially in the race for the woman member of parliament seat. We have the details.
State Minister for Fisheries and Woman MP for Serere, Helen Adoa Abeku, has assured residents that challenges affecting cassava farming will be addressed if they re-elect President Yoweri Museveni together with her. She made the remarks while touring different parts of the district to canvass support for both her candidature and that of the president. Adoa told residents that her ministry has started engaging communities on the construction of fish ponds to improve water access and livestock production. She also promised improvements in infrastructure. Addressing youth, she said re-electing the current leadership would create more employment opportunities. She called on voters to turn up in large numbers on polling day.
Relatedly, with just 4 days to the general elections, campaign momentum is reaching its peak across the country. In Kampala, former Rukunjiri Woman Member of Parliament aspirant Anna Nwagaba Tumuramye has taken the National Resistance Movement message to the streets, embarking on a mobilization drive using her personal car branded with Museveni's posters.
As Uganda counts down 4 days to the general elections scheduled for January 15th, National Resistance Movement NRM supporter and former woman member of parliament aspirant for Rukunjiri district Anna Nwagaba Tumuramye has intensified mobilization efforts in urban areas. Nwagaba is using her personal vehicle branded with posters of President Yoweri Museveni to spread the NRM message of unity, development and safeguarding the country's gains.
So I have a reason as to why I'm supporting him, because I grew up seeing him as the president, and really I have no regret on why I shouldn't support him.
She's urging city dwellers to support Museveni, whom she described as a leader for all Ugandans, citing economic empowerment and emotional stability as key achievements under his leadership.
I'm also protecting the gains. I'm into cocoa growing. And this is the crop that I introduced to the people of Rukunjiri to grow, plus coffee growing, so I'm protecting the gains.
Speaking to supporters during her mobilization drive, she said continued leadership under President Museveni would ensure sustained development and peace.
So driving this car through those opposition areas, especially Kawempe, where you say, my people say, yes, to the name so I feel so proud that my car can also do advertisement or a kind of mobilization for him.
President Museveni is one of the 8 candidates contesting in the presidential race. Campaign activities across the country have entered their final stretch, with candidates and supporters making last-minute appeals to voters ahead of polling day. Charity Marian Imnat and Robert Vaita for UBC News.
Thank you so much. The Electoral Commission has reorganized polling stations to facilitate voting in restricted areas. Jennifer Chobutunji, the regional returning officer for Kampala, said that every citizen has the right to vote, emphasizing the structures the Commission has put in place to ensure a smooth voting exercise.
The Electoral Commission guidelines restrict the establishment of polling stations in areas such as military barracks, prisons and hospitals.
They have the right to vote. They are citizens of this country and they are catered for.
To ensure participation of all eligible voters, the Commission has reorganized polling stations that existed during the 2021 general elections.
We did reorganize polling stations. At that time, we put into consideration all those nitty-gritties. We made sure at least there are polling stations near all those areas, the hospitals, the prisons areas, and the army areas, and the police areas. Near. We are saying near, I'm not saying inside.
A total of 16,055 new polling stations have been added to the 34,684 that existed in 2021. Bringing the total number to 50,739 polling stations for the 2026 general elections.
Where we had big numbers, we split those polling stations. Now you'll find that where we used to have a polling station, now we have a polling center, more than one polling station. What does this mean? The numbers at least very few, easy to handle.
All polling stations will have controlled access to specific categories of people at a time and will operate from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
These 3 categories of people inside the polling station are basically our polling officials, who are the presiding officer and the polling assistants. And then too, we have the voter who is inside the polling station to cast their vote. Then the 3rd category of persons inside the polling station are the agents to candidates. At some other polling stations, we could have a fourth category, the election observers. When they come, we can allow them in, but their duty is entirely the observation. That is it.
The Electoral Commission has also restructured the handling of ballot papers and introduced a detailed system to manage errors during the exercise.
It's like the voters are going to be spoon-fed. The ballot papers, they will be given to you after they have been scanned. Then they are going to be put in an envelope for you. Then there's a PA on the next table who is removing it for you. So there's nothing like messing it up. The only time that you can mess up that ballot paper is if you go in the basin and you don't do the right mark. That is the thumb or a tick. Or if you do a big tick and we can't sustain your choice.
The presiding officer has handed this ballot paper to the voter, but maybe in between here, this ballot paper has been spoiled before it has been cast. The voter has a right to return this spoiled ballot paper. The presiding officer shall, on reception of the spoiled ballot paper, draw two crossing lines to form it entirely so that it becomes a spoiled ballot paper, and then shall reissue a new ballot paper to this voter, okay?
To speed up voter verification using the new biometric voter verification kit system, voters are encouraged to carry their voter location slips. Pauline Ongoyet for UBC.
Busia Electorate has appealed to the NRM National Treasurer Barbara Nekesa Owundo to lobby for the opening of factories and empowering communities in Busia district. This was during vote mobilization campaign engagements at various sub-counties in Busia, canvassing votes for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and NRM flag bearers at all levels in the forthcoming general elections. Take a look.
Implored the electorates of Busia to vote President Museveni for steady progress.
Appeal to you, my people, that let's support President Museveni, number one, for the peace and stability of Uganda as our number one gain. Gain number two is around development. The NRM came here in 1986. The Uganda they found is not the Uganda we have today.
Owundo also urged the people here to embrace poverty eradication initiatives such as the parish development model.
Lobbying for the skilling hub, because we only have one in Kibuku for the entire Bukit. We want another one to be brought here to Busia for South Bukit, so that our people can continue to be skilled. Skilling will enable us to create jobs. This is a government that has a vision for its people.
Mulindwa Rogers, the Deputy Communications Manager at NRM Secretariat, who serves as the Deputy Mobilizer for President Museveni in Bukedi sub-region, appealed to the electorates to vote NRM by taking or thumbprinting in the right box. Isaac Mwanguzi, the NRM chairperson for Busia District, appealed to the people of Busia District to vote for the NRM party.
In other news, the Echisaka Techannaba Gereka Gatonya 2026 has concluded in Wakiso district with a focus on mental wellness and values among young people. This royal mentorship camp was closed by the Buganda Katikiro Charles Peter Maiga.
The annual Echisaka Tech Camp has ended at Holmes-Darren School Gaza campus, bringing together children and youth from different parts of the country. It was held under the theme of Roots of Resilience, embracing Obuntu Bulamu, which is well-being, togetherness and unity for mental wellness. Its closing was graced by the Buganda Katikiro, Charles Peter Maiga.
Always be proud of you, of who you are. Always respect your parents and teachers. Choose good friends. And always remember the values you've learned at this Royal Mentorship Camp, Echisaka. Parents, you should remember that mental wellness begins at home. The words we use, the time we spend with our children, and the examples we set shape our children more than we sometimes realize.
It was organized by the Nabagereka Development Foundation and addressed challenges affecting young people, including self-esteem, bullying, peer pressure, and online behavior.
Tusoosowaza nnyo obuntubulamu kubanga butuyigiriza okubeera ab'obuvunaanyizibwa, okufaayo ku bannaffe n'ebirala bingi. Mu mulembe guno abaana baffe balumbiddwa obulwadde obw'obwongo. Abaana bano beetaaga enteekateeka enneekusifu okusobola okwetangira okulumbibwa kuno. Ekisaakaate kitukubiriza okunyweza amagezi ag'obuntubulamu. Obuntubulamu butuyigiriza nti kyendi kiva mu kubeerawo kw'abalala. Mu lutalo olw'okulwanyisa embeera z'obwongo, okubeerawo kw'abalala kukulu nnyo.
The Echisakate that has partners like MTN Momo also helps in guiding children to grow with our strong values while handling emotional and social challenges. Participants took part in mentorship sessions, culture teachings and discussions on responsible use of digital platforms.
At MTN Uganda and MTN Mobile Money, we are deeply proud to walk this journey alongside the Buganda Kingdom and the Nabagereka Development Foundation. Our partnership is anchored in a shared belief that when young people are supported holistically, culturally, emotionally, and digitally, they gain the power to be more.
Excellent performers during the Kisakate including Timothy Mukalazi, Liam Kakembo, and the overall best Michelle Nankabiro and Zion Imbowa were rewarded. The Kisakate continues to serve as a platform for promoting mental resilience and responsible citizenship among the youth, enabled by a proper parent-child relationship.
Thank you, Sentamu, for that report. Now, the World Bank-supported Smart Agriculture project remains in balance following protest by fishermen in Kaliro district over its commencement. The fishermen say they were not adequately consulted before the rollout of the project, prompting demonstrations that temporarily disrupted planned activities. The program is a co-funded initiative comprising 6 components targeting various community groups, including fishermen, with the aim of improving livelihoods and promoting sustainable resource use.
Today we are here to talk about Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project. This is a 6-year project that is funded by the World Bank. In Kaliro, we got around 3 value chains or 4. We have the fisheries value chain basically, that's why I'm here, to talk about the fisheries value chain. So the project is a project that involves the government gives 80% and the group members contribute 20%.
We have come to raise awareness and the capacity on issues of climate smart agriculture for livelihoods and development. But very, very importantly, the government of Uganda, through World Bank, money, President Yoweri Museveni mobilized money to the tune of about 350 million USD, 350 million US dollars, particularly to be used into the climate smart agriculture, good practices and projects here in Gadumere sub-county, particularly in the fisheries sector.
Few challenges in implementation of this project delayed dispersion of the funds that the groups need to use, and they always ask. And we are praying and we are hoping that the money will be available. And we've also encouraged the groups to avail the 20% that they're supposed to contribute towards the movement of this project.
In more news, Brigadier General David Gonyi, the Air Force Chief of Staff, has assured Ugandans of security ahead of the January 15th general elections and encouraged citizens to turn up and vote for their preferred candidates. The general made the remarks during his presentation on geopolitics and the imperative of regional integration at Makerere University, where he addressed student leaders and staff, underscoring the critical role of higher learning institutions in promoting regional integration.
It does to countries. We have seen the Sudan here, a very powerful country, has crumbled because of violence, and it was a political violence. We've seen Libya crumble. Currently, you cannot even know who is the president because of violence that people thought would end easily, but unfortunately has destroyed the countries. We in Somalia almost 20 years as the UPDF, trying to support them to regain their country because it went as easy as that in 1991, and up to today it has never regained its status as a powerful country of this region. So we are asking that people can go mobilize their leaders, mobilize their voters, mobilize for their leaders, mobilize their voters to make sure they vote, but they should go out and vote. Vote knowing us as the security forces, we shall provide the security for them. And we encourage those who think that violence affects those they are targeting to understand that violence affects everybody uniformly.
The strategic direction of our country is of paramount importance to the agenda of the national resistance movement. So we engaged the leadership here, the students' leaders, the staff, both teaching and non-teaching, to ensure that they understand the agenda, they understand where we are going, we understand the vision, the mission and direction of the national resistance movement, and to seek their mandate from them, but also from their communities where they come from.
Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, has issued a strong warning against the destruction of green spaces in the city, vowing to arrest and prosecute anyone found degrading the environment. This follows the drafting of a new bylaw aimed at strengthening the protection of urban forests and vegetation. The authority says the ordinance is now in its final stages of scrutiny by the Office of the Attorney General.
Kampala capital city is among the fast-growing cities in Africa, but with that growth has come increasing pressure on the environment. Green spaces, once a defining feature of the city, are steadily disappearing, largely due to unchecked construction, encroachment and weak enforcement of existing environmental laws. Environmental experts warn that the continued destruction of trees and wetlands is worsening the impact of climate change in the city, leading to flooding, rising temperatures, and poor air quality.
We are also out there in the field, on radio stations, on social media, trying to teach, because at the end of it all, people need to be aware.
According to Nelson Tuyembaze, the KCCA forest officer, a new bylaw is being finalized to give the authority stronger legal powers to act against offenders.
So once it leaves Attorney General's office, it's going to be gazetted and becomes enforceable. So that's the stage it's at. At any time, it can even be next year, it can be even this year, it's going to be out there to the public.
He made the remark in Nakawa during a tree planting exercise led not by officials, but a child. Dara planted 180 trees to mark her birthday, choosing environmental action over the traditional birth cake.
Today on my 6th birthday, I am planting 108 trees because I choose trees as my birthday gift to Earth. Trees are our friends. They give us air, shade and life. I want children and families everywhere to plant trees and protect our beautiful earth. Let us grow a greener world together.
According to her parents, Leah got the idea after watching news on television about climate change disasters.
She is asking to the parents like me or Papa why it is happening. Even in her school, teachers also sometimes face her curiosity. They explain, even we also explain why this natural disaster happened. So she find out root cause, that global warming, the drought, the overflood and too much rainfall because of this cutting trees.
She told me this year I'm going to celebrate my birthday. I want to give the earth 108 trees. Okay, so that's we are planning to do take the permission of the KCCA, and we start planting to the trees.
The gesture drew praise from environmental officers and parents alike, with many describing it as a powerful reminder that climate action can start at any age. Oko Joseph, UBC.
And now in business news, the Minister of State for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Peace Mutuzo, has urged creative artists to take advantage of the 28 billion shilling Creative Uganda Revolving Fund aimed at boosting the creative arts industry and creating employment opportunities across the country. Mutuzo made the remarks at Kololo during the Uganda One Festival, an event aimed at bringing together creative talents from across the country.
The creative sector in Uganda has for many years demonstrated immense potential as a driver of economic growth, job creation and cultural diplomacy. Despite this potential, the sector has historically faced structural challenges. While at the Uganda One Festival, Minister of State for Gender and Cultural Affairs, Peace Mutuzo, asked the creatives to take advantage of the 28 billion shillings Creative Uganda Revolving Fund to accelerate the development of a sustainable financing mechanism to support the growth of Uganda's creative and cultural sector.
But this year, financial year, government has come strongly to support the creatives, and not to support only one domain of creatives, but all the domains.
Uganda Musician Federation already have $1 billion. Associations are also
the festival that featured different leaders, creative artists and exhibitors aimed at showcasing Uganda's rich cultural heritage, which the minister says will unlock value and position the creative sector. The director, Operation Wealth Creation, Sylvia Owori, who is also the organizer of the Uganda One Festival, noted the significance of the event, saying it aims at streamlining access and accountability.
Government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Gender, we are not going to let you down. We are going to make sure we contribute to the economy of Uganda tenfold. To the tenfold strategy, we are going to present to you what we are going to do. And this is to announce that the Uganda One Festival is also a marketplace. We are going to get markets for everyone that is working and has displayed their products here today. We have a website where you can be able to sell your art, you can be able to sell your crafts, you don't even have to leave your home. Honorable Minister, this is a step in the right direction.
The Uganda One Festival, an initiative aimed at bringing creatives together for one cause, will be celebrated annually to promote creativity and innovation. Irene Faith Nantos, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Nantongo, for that report. And that brings us to the end of our time here on UBC's weekly news roundup. My name is Moureen Babirye. Be sure to catch me at 8 and 10 p.m. on our UBC News Tonight subsequent news bulletins. Good afternoon.